To the end?
It's just like, that was so obvious. It was so obvious. He very obviously was doing it. Yeah. He was fine at the end of the race. Oh, yeah. Not wet.
Yeah, you can't run an entire race with cigar hanging out of your mouth. That's busting saddle.
No.
Saddle also engaged in competitions involving endurance marches with the Royal Marines. And it was during the Royal Marines that Jimmy Savile met the Royal Family, or as Jimmy Savile secretly likes to call them, the Third.
There they are. I think we know the running. Hey, people say we follow around. You know, I do find he's the only possible person.
Yeah.
But it's a great name, I will say. Great name for the World Cup.
It is. Through the Royal Marines, Jimmy Savile became close friends with Lord Louis Mountbatten. During the week, became Savile's bridge to the powerful figures of Prince Philip and the former Prince Charles. Mountbatten, the first Savile figure, proposed next to Prince Philip's queen. Savile would offer few effects and came to deliver, which was the royal smile. In fact, Savile would random convoluted stories about how he had taught Mountbatten how to, quote, navigate public relations, which, according to Savile, gave him entry into the British establishment and the service. Savile claimed that he had taken an oath of Homeric silence when it came to the royals, and that his success with the royals throughout the decades came down to him, quote, minding his own business. In reality, though, Jimmy Savile got on with Lord Louis Mountbatten, because Mountbatten was the royal family's most dangerous sexual predator until the arrival of England's 20th royal, Prince Andrew.
Well, I know. Now, is another example of, like, I don't know, is, like, how do we put this? There's obviously, when I think of the Royal Family, all I think about is him for as president. Really. And I know people got calls. Some of them are just more slack strong, essentially. To me, like, examples, now we're looking at the princes now, right? We got Prince Andrew, who's the other one, the middle, Harry and, you know, who cares for the dead? We still want to be dead, it doesn't have to be over. And they're also like that, the thing that we did last with all the,
well, the one who's actually Prince Charles' son, or King Charles' son, he's the one who has the other one who's actually, his father is actually a redhead tennis player.
Yeah.
He's looking good.
He's doing great.
Yeah.
He's doing great. But, you know, there's something about, I wonder how, I'm not going to be like, they're all kind of commercial. I mean, that is, literally,
It's incredibly impossible when people say, everybody's protecting by the
it really is. But like, my question is, I wonder what that person that it started this kind of activity. Not that she's like a great role, if I would have guessed,
like it's me being like really concerned, I would say 15%. Sure. I'm definitely gonna guess that it's I would think it's probably a bell curve when it comes to pedophilia. He's really poor and he's really rich, probably for that pedophilia and sex crime free at far higher rate than everyone in the middle. I would say that. So much like Jimmy Savile, Lord Mountbatten was considered to be a British national threat. He was a warrior, a naval leader, and a major political player. Some even considered Mountbatten to be the true power behind the throne. He was the one who supposedly told Queen Elizabeth what to do. Mountbatten counselled many members of the royal family, specifically Philip, that's Queen Elizabeth's husband, and Prince Philip's son, the Prince King Charles. Through Mountbatten, Jimmy Savile formed close relationships with both Philip and Charles, and those relationships would continue until Jimmy Savile's death decades later. It was 2000. Actually, more like the 60s, but things became particularly close in the 70s. And when Mountbatten met Jimmy Savile in the 1960s, the two of them had an immediate rapport, which Savile described as a, quote, attraction of opposites. Savile was the working class clown, while Mountbatten had no less than 12 noble or military titles to his name. Before long, Mountbatten was asking Jimmy Savile to speeches in his stead during the First Olympics, and Savile would speak and go, make everyone laugh. Mountbatten always had to cut the rhythm, Like Savile, Mountbatten had a rabid sexual appetite for both sexes and all ages, although Mountbatten certainly leaned closer to Floyd to his death. You know, like boys, they like also, I will say these nicknames for themselves and others, they are particularly very self-important. Yeah, and if you look at the email that Prince Andrew sent to Epstein, you look at the sense of humor, if it's anything like that, I can definitely see the picture thing being not a, you'd be like, they think it's fun. They think it's like, what is yeah, we know. We're going to Mountbatten Bar. It's called the first walk with young people looking away from Mountbatten's gay friends affectionately refer to him as, this is nice, Mount Coffee. Nothing wrong with being secretly gay and sort of, oh, look at you, to be gay. Let me be normal gay. It would be super fun. You could have got a whole other Netflix show out of that. But secrets are far worse than simply not being a problem with various conditions that it's safe. Typically, it's a dragon. That's what they did with the Gandhi science guy. Yeah. As far as that in 1940, Brotato driver paid fairly successfully to steal or safely goes to children aged 8 to 12. That was not really a family, and then just a girl office or racing. When they got to 13, he was like, yeah, he went from 8 to 12. I mean, that's like, he raised enough children. He developed specific, I like them, 17, 13, 8, 12. That's a lot of time. Yeah, it really is. That might even be scary, Lord Mountbatten, if it was just the driver making these claims, if you just had one guy saying like, oh yeah, he likes kids, you might chop it up on court. Happens all the time. But another source said that Mountbatten raped a Burmese boy in the back of a packed cargo plane in Sri Lanka. That same source said that Mountbatten preferred high-profile, properly educated young girls. And he did everything he could to cure more victims than any source in any means of exposure just himself. And it turns out that though Mountbatten's habitual death in 1979 may in fact try to get sued with where the most physicians in the later years. And that Mountbatten may have learned fingerprints. Pedophiles exchange information and change the way they do things. There's another example of this. This is exactly what I'm talking especially during so-called trust. Lord Mountbatten seemed to have stopped with the upper-class British boys in favor of turning Northern Ireland into his own so-called speed shop. If this were would have been super crucial to As any British boy had at that. Well, the thing is that electrical after British, yeah, and dwarf is this. Anyone that are left on side don't do. I appreciate you thinking that news that I do appreciate it as well. Yeah, you're trying. I mean, you're really fucking stupid, but you're trying. And I really mad at you. Just like how good bad it would have been. It's a magical thing. Yeah, yeah, no, they're like, I can get me. I call it yeah. I'm like, who gets it? Yeah, the magic is that it works. You're really a bit of a that's what it's like trying to rainbow day to day with a pot of gold and all the money from the good part. We're talking about the Robin Black. Mountbatten was a central part of a pedophile network that allegedly kidnapped Irish boys from Contora boys' home in Belfast for use in orgies with Mountbatten's castle throughout the 1970s. These accounts were confirmed by survivors, proved by the little girl at Stoke Mandeville, only learned that a famous British establishment figure had abused them after seeing Mountbatten on the news. What's clear, though, is that the news story seen by Mountbatten's victims was the story reporting Mountbatten's fiery and disturbing death. This is all at the hands of the IRA! Honestly, this is pretty awesome. This is actually really fun. Lord Mountbatten has been part of the IRA for several years, and has already survived at least one attempt on his life. Babe? Little boy. And I just said, should I come to the beer? Should I not pull There is some suspicion that the IRA had full knowledge of Mountbatten's abuse at the boys' home himself. Oh, yeah, they did. Yeah. It's said by some that the abuse was a big factor. That's why they chose to assassinate Lord Mountbatten. But the IRA actually has a lot of reasons.
Yeah, that's still a for fun.
Yeah.
It was all that one. Big suit. Yeah.
Yeah, and we're not going to go into other seasons. Let's see how it is myself.
Oh, God.
We didn't have to hear from that. I was expecting it. I was great. I used to go for a game like myself.
Right. It's unbelievable. Give me a free cheese can. Give me a dinner. Give me me.
Fucking Mrs. Flan O'Brien. Fucking give me Teletubbies.
You're giving me game time. Let's see how this guy was blown to death.
Yeah. But before we get into the story, just know that it was indeed the IRA report Mountbatten died on August 27, 1979. That morning, Mountbatten took some family and friends out on the boat in Northern Ireland to check on some lobster pots that they placed the day before. Unbeknownst to Mountbatten, the IRA filled those pots with 50 pounds of explosives overnight.
Yeah, let's go through these till I pod and get with
After they found a use for the 13 arrows, they mixed in the boat reached the pot, the IRA detonated the explosives, blowing up the boat and killing Mountbatten instantly.
Yeah, cooking all the lobster.
Yeah. When the authorities found his legless corpse, Mountbatten was floating face down in the water, and Northern Ireland had one less month to the year.
Oh, that must have been so sweet. I just wanted to get it once. What do you mean? Just to see the news, because somebody I really don't like
Yeah.
It's the funnest way for you to get to your life.
Yeah.
It's been a while. I've never seen somebody just like somebody like really dislike getting exploded. It's been a long time. Yeah, it has to. There was the one Russian general that kind of liked him. But that was like hard because that guy, he's a moron. Yeah. Because he was like, I'll come to the person and he's like, you know, I met Jeff Flake. Come visit me. Let's talk about it.
Now, even though Jimmy Savile's first collection was blown up by the IRA, and although certainly puts a different tenor in the episode of The Crown that dramatizes him, that he is not that portrayed as a fucking hero in that show. But he's portrayed as a great man.
Was not allowed to put any single salacious bad thing. It's like just like sex stuff. They were not allowed to put anything in the show because of how thoroughly controlled the UK allows any kind of entertainment about the royal family. This is allowed to be portrayed. So when I did Orthodox and over on that, we had Portuguese for Princess Diana, and which was fucking hilarious. It was amazing. And but we had those jokes about the Queen's million and stuff. Oh yeah, like fucking people from Netflix UK flew in, and they're like, nah, you got something to do. The reason why they do that is because they do this shit because they don't know we're doing it yet. We'll find out.
But Savile had also developed a close relationship with Prince Philip, Queen Elizabeth's husband, at the time of Mountbatten's assassination. Prince Philip immediately saw Jimmy Savile's way for the royal family to project a common thought. And his words, not mine.
And definitely with Prince Philip too, because with that like him just like he's liquid.
Yeah. Jimmy Savile was a way for the royals to appear more approachable, because that was always a concern for the royals in the latter half of the 20th century. They had to figure out in the age of mass media how to appear as human beings, because the fucking monarchy had never had to worry about being a fucking human being before television.
It is interesting because all of the media is changing everything. Because you're even just having to understand that like Lord Mountbatten probably had not even been like editorialized that because of like things that they saw every day. You would definitely see him coming and abusing a bunch of people, and then them not realizing that they were just used by level of the world.
Prince Philip also believed that Jimmy Savile's so-called common thought would be of great use to his incredibly awkward and terribly disappointing son, Charles, the Prince Wales and heir to the throne.
Sorry to my hero. That's how.
Oh, yeah. No. People go out and shop for different textures.
Now I used to be a.
Bring me the apple. Precious apple. As we mentioned last, that's why they call it Ant Flow.
Yeah.
As we mentioned last episode, Charles immediately took to Jimmy Savile as gesture, our friend, our confidant, our advisor, and at times, full mentor. In other words, it was clear to anyone who saw together that Charles trusted Savile and valued his opinion in all men. Now, since Jimmy Savile in the mid-1980s was slowly wormed his way to the French project in her book, that started in 1986, Newton began a 20-year correspondence in which Savile basically told the royals how to behave in public with yeah, they were like, how do I respond to this situation? How would you do this situation? I think we give like, you write like 5-page like outline guide for like, this is what you need in the situation room, this is how you talk to people, this is what you say, this is what you don't say, and they listen to it.
Just say that. Yeah, it's like a very specific, like honestly, emergency deal.
Yeah, how to manipulate.
Like if the wolf was a wolf.
Yeah. By the end of the 80s, Jimmy Savile had unrestricted access to the royal palace and once boasted of popping into Buckingham Palace after completing the London Marathon to have a shower and then afterwards tea with the Queen.
And you know what's real and what's not real too.
Well, we do know that it is that he could show up as he could basically show up almost anywhere in England and talk his way in. So let's look at secret military facilities, then he could talk his way into any royal palace.
You know, you never thought. You know,
Savile was so trusted by Prince Charles that Charles actually called Savile in marriage to, in a word, fix his broken marriage to Diana. Even though Savile was notoriously single his entire life. Savile, however, took the opportunity of this aspect to lick the arm of one of Charles's female clerks just before a so-called confidence. The clerk picked up a hundred back, so Annabelle was all to say anything about the assault. So Savile was there on an important mission to catch up things between both the boss and the boss. And nothing was more important than that. As far as Savile's relationship with Diana, Steamboat was one way in public and another in private. In 1987, Savile invited Diana to help him unveil a new MRI scanner at Stoke Mandeville Hospital. And Savile certainly played up the role of jester with Princess Di in public. He made her laugh however he could. He wore a funny t-shirt that said for sale and, playfully slapped it like, oh, yo, so. But in private, Diana told a former royal correspondent that Savile was so creepy that he would physically recoil whenever he was around. Savile would insert himself into Diana's marriage without her consent because Charles liked having him around and he trusted him. Savile could show up at any residence at any time to, quote, check up on Diana. Savile finally went too far when he licked Diana's hand, although he felt he was okay. No, but it was one. He licked her hand. Yeah. Well, you can tell that was probably near the end of her marriage fell in. But it's sort of awkward when your husband's son licks your hand and your husband waves it off as a pop. As a working pop.
You know what? First guy with a fucking prisoner or something.
Yeah, sure.
Like she was just, they fucking murdered her.
Yeah.
They murdered her. You know, it's 50 seconds. And she fucking there we go.
Since UK had a see you were not terribly if you were postmates and pretend things you
Get out of here, you fucking lying bastard!
And that's why we can say it now.
Yeah. I'm glad you said.
Enough enough. You're right. That's really what it came down to. Enough enough. Enough enough. Then be fair. There have never been any accusations nor evidence that it blames King Charles.
No, he wants to be killed on the temple.
Yeah, that's it. There's never been any indication that King Charles has any dark sexual secrets. It's pretty damn normal. Really, what you're just saying is wanting to be Camilla's.
That's the perfect thing about it.
Yeah.
It's how much he loves Camilla.
Yeah.
He seems at the very core, it was trouble bad.
That's what it is. That being said, King Charles has certainly surrounded himself throughout his life with pedophiles and sexual monsters, whether it's Louis, with Brother Andrew, or with many pedophile friends.
Many pedophile friends. But that's why they do look better. Always the friends for pedophiles.
Yeah.
It just gets the hook with the food.
Whether that's a Charles thing or it's just a teacher in the social class that is trying to be wealthy and powerful people, that's up to the man. What do you want to do?
It's an interesting. Oh, yeah. It's an interesting. You can understand. Yeah, I like to do this direction. It's an interesting.
So it's a party whole thing?
Yeah, you do not understand. It's an interesting.
Charles' social circle was indeed far more evil than the average person's social circle. Besides Jimmy Savile, Prince Andrew, and Lord Mountbatten, Charles was also exposed to the pedophile who had the unfortunate and appropriate name of Peter Ball.
Yes, we have taken from the prophet. Oh.
Richard Hector Kane. Except the Ball provably committed offenses of sexual abuse against at least 17 teenage boys and young men.
Let me say that again.
Ball provably committed offenses of sexual abuse against at least 17 teenage boys and young men. Crimes for which Ball was convicted in 2015. Very nice, a very small sentence, as it was a slap on the wrist. But even after the first trial were made against Peter Ball in 1993, Prince Charles came to Peter Ball's aid. He wrote a letter to Ball, which Charles said that he read, "What if not more for right? This won't God from goddamn." But he thought this whole thing was a big misunderstanding. It's always a big misunderstanding.
Well, sure, they were young, but you boys being boys.
Yeah. But Charles did arrange for the Duchy of Cornwall to buy a house for Ball and his twin brother, with his twin. And effectively, Charles set up his pedophile friends in residence while Ball figured out his next move. He's a great friend. He is a great friend. And so, it is my estimation that rather than being a pedophile himself, King Charles is more of an incredibly insecure and overly trusting fool who's willing to go back to anyone's fucking night.
That is actually dead on.
I mean, friends who don't sexual predators like Jimmy Savile and Peter Ball, they recognize King Charles as a very useful idiot they could hear themselves with if they wanted to continue social justice.
They did. So when people describe working with them, I kind of get a little, like, during this series, I get a little bit like involved in several YouTube videos talking about people that have worked with Buckingham Palace or worked with Prince Andrew or worked with these things. And they really talk about Charles. You know, like, he's doing the thing where he's not doing the proper cancer treatment. He's doing the whole holistic thing. And
Oh, so he's going to die soon?
yes, that's what they all say. He's well-meaning. If an absent person. Yeah, he's just like a little like a, oh, yeah. Like that's like his whole life.
Yeah, nothing.
You see the face of the person putting the plane in his hand and the side. And he doesn't talk to his hand.
Yeah.
And he having a big soft finger with like, you know how hard it is to get the little button?
Yeah? No, I don't.
Many dogs. Always undressing. Okay, undress the dog. You can't see what's underneath. Yeah, you know that if I go beta work, beta work like I have. Well, that's not it. It's really your hand. Yeah, buddy. Yeah. Yeah. Watch it hold up. You get the picture. Never see the hand. Honestly, these keep your mind up. Wow. They're all different groups. Yeah, each one's a different brand of stuff. One's Johnsonville and the Vienna right there. I think.
Episode 197 of Business, the Kevin Lynch Podcast. Deb, I'm Sean. What guys? Episode 197. 200. Pro Wrestling Podcast. 200 episode. We're not people with wrestling. Other than things to the world consciousness. We'll have to flip our back to that.
No, that was wrestling on a different side.
I don't know. There's illicit activities in Tennessee. I knew there was some illicit activities.
It was strip club, so I was watching a movie the other day, and it was funny because I was first there dating my wife, the FBI, an FBI agent, and the rest of the time sat down, get to know their house and questions, sat down, and put the card in front of me. Yeah, we have not no accent. David. And I said, who's here? And the card, this time we were still. She said, why would that guy?
So, will you marry?
You don't know this, baby, but one day and this guy is really got the thing. We were watching a show the other day, the FBI agent dropped the card on the table, and Tim said, "Oh, it's the same card." I said, "Well, it's the same ever."
Yeah, that hasn't changed.
Yeah. But funny.
Well, good. I mean, those were two guys at a bar, right? Anyone who says you got a wrestling podcast, I usually go, no, I had two guys at a bar.
It's a conversation. Remember what they do, what we were doing? We got deep as a conversation.
Oh, that was Spotify, right?
Yeah, Spotify.
Yeah.
Conversation. That's what I was
Shit, if that's what AI says, that no bias.
We have a conversation. And you know, it's good. I'm at that typical challenges lets people on the boat on Saturday afternoon. not allowed.
Take control.
Yeah, so if you think you're going to put your comment on YouTube, no.
There's somebody at the door.
Yeah.
The velvet rope.
Yeah, you're not leaving a comment. If you want to leave a comment, have the balls to put your email down and put it through the rocket.
Well, I think the perfect way would be to go to whatsthisTV.com. Tell you what it's like. You could ask you a question.
Yeah. But that would be
Getting close.
yeah, that was you don't want to do that. No, that's
I think Amazon made the star that was a bad. That was a left turn off the road. Oh, what the fuck about? To give a star rating. You can enjoy one thing more or less than another. I didn't like it personally. But when you put in kind of official stamp, my opinion that this is the best rank is unbelievable. So I can tell you as a friend, yeah, try it. And you don't like it. It's about my
but at the same time, God is one so sometimes it's a lot of horrible. So anything that's wrong.
Yeah, but that's the problem. That's
wrong. It's like, if you think the one you're trying I see kids around sometimes. People basically, and I know it's just troll, you know, and they add their own tips, but the tips should be, the tips like 30%. And I'm thinking, no, I would tip 30%. I get treated like the fucking king of France. But if you bring my steak on, you well,
oh, you don't have any steak that way.
oh yeah, I know. I mean, that was the bread and 20. I mean, you go for like 15, it's like, I mean, you just never got food. But it's very difficult to buy $100,000 that's great. And it's just like so $200 bottle wine. I could buy the bottle of wine. I could buy the bottle of wine for $69 at the store. You're gonna tell me that 9 times out of 10 the guy that's on the court steps it on the page because options not over the deal. You know, this is the process. And if you're paying $60, but I used to.
Well, now the whole thing. Yeah, I thought it was an outfit. But it's stank, where they actually like to add it to the this was great hustle, she hustled. They sold out over you in a counter with a toothbrush, a douche, and a dildo, and know what this is? They said for ripping it up.
And then it was the airport. And so last time I was there, I bought one of those core protein things. And it's like $6, you know, like $3. And I signed off and the lady looks at me, she did. And then I looked at it, so now it's like came in the corner, so looked at it, $6 50%. But you still get home. So you press other and it's zero. So yeah, way more fun. That's like saying fuck you. No fuck you. You're not making change, you're not doing anything. You're not even picking up my item. You're taking the thing beside it, wanting it as it sits in front of you. You're doing the least you could possibly do. And you think I'm going to pay 50% of that item's cost. It's already 50% overpriced.
The dude and it goes back to the guy who unfortunately versus works $2. Physicality is the same. You muscle absorption is one is death.
I don't like the guy that shows the shoes.
John in Orlando, you know that,
They're
right?
all
No longer.
goddamn,
There's one in an airport. What's the airport that's still out there?
I don't know.
Grill, Schuler's Grill in.
I don't know. Maybe Miami. I don't think.
Oh no, Jacksonville.
So I stayed in Fort Marriott, Detroit, and they used to have a shoeless there, and it was gone. But choice was good. Made you mistakes. And the water hanging out inside the wall. Big bowl. And it was $150. The guy comes over, got the white legend basket, cross, puts it on his forearm, and it's a fast fire. And puts the napkin on his forearm and takes his hand and screws the lock. Because that's what all the Australian screwdrivers would furnish. myself like, oh, wow. I just did that I recorded it.
Did a wine tasting last cruise I was on. The guy was great. He was very knowledgeable, small group. There was me and my wife, two other couples on either side of me. And he went through bottling techniques and stuff, and even